What's going on, guys? Doing a Nordic deck profile. 2 times local champion with it. Very good win rate online in Master Duel. Against Elements, actually. I made them drop some tears with this deck, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so first time doing it, hope I will do well and you enjoy it, guys. Let's get to it. The main deck. Must 3 times Nordic Beast Golem Bursty coming from Battle of Chaos. It really brings some power to the deck. When it's normal summon, it gives you special summon. Nordic monster from the hand. Also, you can activate effect on the field. Second one, you can get 1 Nordic back to your hand, which can be a material for Govik, which I'll get to later. It's tuner, and it can be used for all the 3 of the Acer gods, Adentor and Loki. So it's a must. 3 copies of Nordic Smithy Valdi, also coming from Battle of Chaos, also must because basically he can special summon himself from hand when you have Nordic Beast on the field. Also, it search you Nordic Relics. I'm using only 2 in this deck. You'll see them in a couple of minutes. 3 times Alvis of the Nordic Alfar. This card is so good for this deck. It gives you a lot of options. It saves you materials for Govik. You don't have to use cards from your hand if you don't draw Hippo Carnival. So basically the effect of this card is when this is the only card banished from the effect of a Nordic Link monster. You can remove 1 monster you control and 2 monsters from the deck, sending them to the graveyard, and their level, combined levels must equal 10, and you can bring out 1 of the 3 gods. This is not synchro summon, so if your god got destroyed, you won't be able to get it back on the field through his own effect. But Alvis has another effect, which unfortunately can be used once per duel. When this card is in the grave, maybe 1 of your Acer gods got removed because of opponent's card, sent from the field to the graveyard, you can banish this card and immediately bring out 1 Acer god from the extra deck. Again, it's not synchro summon, but at least for example, if they play Raigeki or something like that, destroying your god, you don't need to use your Svalin because you can bring out another god immediately and you still have the negate. There will be 1 card short. So yeah, it's very good card. 2 copies of the Werk of the Nordic Alfar. You can run 1, you can run 3, it depends on you. Again, I'll say, if I haven't said it earlier, I play this deck basically because I like it. I'm not pulling so much cards in it, making it as strong as possible. Yeah, there are some pretty good cards that I put in there, expensive cards, you see them, but basically I run this deck because I like it, but I'm not going so hard with it. Anyway, I play 2 copies of the Werk, very good, because when it gets normal summon, it gives you extra normal summon of the Nordic monster. This effect doesn't start chain. Also, when it's sent to the graveyard, that's a must effect even if you don't have 1 in the grave. He'll search Nordic Relic. But if you have, you can get it back to your hand, recycle it. And it's a level 1, so he can be combined with the other tuners. Make some other monsters from the extra deck. 3 of the tuners required to banish for the Nordic gods, Valkyrie of the Nordic Ascendant, Vanadis, and Svartalf of the Nordic Ascendant. What you can do with them, they have some effects, of course. Pretty much never use them. Maybe Vanadis to make your deck one card thinner. I'll get to it when I show you the combos with it. Some of the monsters of the Nordics: Mimir of the Nordic Ascendant, Tangrisnir, and Tangnost of the Nordic Beast. Again, they have effects which never use, maybe once or twice. It's very occasional. Basically, play them because of their levels. 2 copies of Rescue Cat. It's a great starter, or if you get later in the duel, you can get out immediately Golimbursti and one of Tangnost or Tangrisnir, making Synchro 6 immediately. Recycle it with Monster Reborn. Go into Baguska if you have extra Nordic like Ibaldi or something left on the field. So it's pretty great card. Rescue Cat. Monster Hand Traps, 1 copies, Effect Veiler, Nibiru, and Ash Blossom. Reason I play only 1 copies of each is because I play Crossout Designator, because you need to protect your combo with Govik. If Govik got ashed or something, or impermed, basically your combo is done. So I play them at once, so they don't come to my hand that oftenly, and when Crossout come, I'm able to protect my Govik with it. Magic cards, 3 copies, Hippo Carnival must. This saves you materials when you activate the effect of Govik. Basically you go chain with it, and it gives you 3 tokens, which while they're face up on the field locks you from summoning monster from the extra deck. But this is chaining 2 and unchaining 1 with Govik. You banish all 3 tokens and you get out your monsters from your deck without using any card from your hand. Also, this card can be used for some defense. When you activate it, you have 1 monster, whatever. You activate this, you have 2 tokens. Your opponent will not be able to target any other monsters except Hippo Carnival tokens until the end of the turn this card is activated. It's a quick spell, as you can see. So even if he gets rid of your monster, for example, he plays you, I don't know, let's say the effect of I don't know, like playing some cards to bring back to your hand, or let's say you made your god unaffected and he plays Strageki Dark anyway. He clears your tokens, or you have only Govik on the field, or some weak monster, Nordic Beast or whatever. He gets rid of your tokens, but your monster stays, he won't be able to attack it. That's the point. So it's occasional, but yet again, it can be used for defense by some time. 3 copies of Crossout Designator. As I said earlier, you need to protect, you must protect your combo. It's simple combo, but it very easy lose to hand traps, so you need your protection. And this card can save a lot of travel. And kind of 4th copy, not for anything but Dash or Baylor, but still it helps. Called by the Grave, very good card. So basically you kind of run 4 copies of course out Designator against cards like Ash Blossom, and even Effect Veiler can protect you from Nibiru or Infinite Impermanence, unless you have Nibiru in your grave, then or unless your opponent already have, I'm sorry, Nibiru in the grave, then Called by the Grave can save you from Nibiru. But this is 99% no on the first turn. Okay, one copy of Monster Reborn. Basically give you materials to go make Bagus Cabis Dweller, even Bamboozling Shadow. Things I run in the extra deck. It gives you option. Even you can bait the negate of the opponent if he has some, if you're going second. One copy of Instant Fusion, one copy of Ready Fusion. Reason I'm playing is you can get out monster, normal fusion monsters from the extra deck with Ready Fusion, and level 5 for a lower fusion monster with Ready Fusion. I'm using them for levels. I have some tuners, which I will show you in a little bit. Gives you option for the synchro and even DXCs. That's the reason I'm playing them. One copy of Triple Tactic and one copy of Triple Tactic Trust. You know what those cards do. They're pretty good. You can put even more. As I said earlier, I don't want to put any more money and cards in this deck besides the one I already have. So I run in my main deck 2 copies of Triple Tactic Trust. This is my third one, so I put it here. It's a good help. Triple Tactic Trust. I have only one copy of it, and I play it in this deck because I decided not to play it in my main tournament deck. Going through trap cards, starting with the relics, of course. 2 copies of Nordic Relics Valin. You can run 3 if you want to. I decided to, so I can leave some space in my deck. Nordic Relics Valin. 2 effects. You cannot use both of them in the same turn. The first is, and the most important, if you have Aesir God, you can negate all face-up cards your opponent going to control on the field in the moment of activation, which is pretty good against decks that rely on continuous spell traps or field spells like Runic, Telement, etc. And very underestimated card maybe. It came from Battle of Chaos, but it really brings at least 1 star up to this deck because it's pretty sick. And if you have some extra negate on your back row or in your hand, some hand trap, it's very, very powerful. And if you know your opponent deck, you know where to strike. It gives you a great amount of power. The second effect also is not so bad. You can tribute 1 Nordic monster you can draw and bring back 1 Aesir from your graveyard. 1 Aesir God, considering he was properly synchro summoned, because if he's summoned without this, then unfortunately doesn't count as properly summoned. Nordic Relic Making Yard. Why I play this? It's pretty cool because it doubles the attack and defense of one of your Aesir God or Nordic monster, and in the damage step you can do very good twist, or even you can win the game if you have card like Thor, Odin, making them on 7 and 8,000 attack, and yeah, pretty much that's a game. That's game. You attack some of his weak monsters, even if he has some strong cards. Like, let's say you play against Blue Eyes has Jet and he has some Dictator. You don't want to attack Jet if you don't have Goo, because he return your god to your hand at the start of the game step. Maybe Dictator was not so good choice, but yeah, you have Svalin, you stop the effect of Dictator not being able to tell you which monster to attack, so you're dealing 6800 damage in 1 attack with Odin, and pretty much that will be game if you dealt some earlier. 2 copies of Solemn Strike. The reason is obvious. You're going first, you play this, it gives you extra power, extra negate to stop your opponent at any time. Counter trap, he won't be able to respond unless with another counter trap, which in his turn, no, I don't see it happening unless you have cards like Makira the Destroyer giving you the option to activate traps from your hand, which meta decks don't run. Most of the decks don't run. So yeah, that's a very good card for going first. One copy of Infinity Permanence, one copy only because I want my designated to work most of the time. Anyway, if I don't have to use it and this came to my hand, anyway, it's a good card for first, second, you know, it's Infinity Permanence. The extra deck, one copy of each god, Thor, Loki, and Odin, of course. You know what they'll do, whoever played the deck. Who didn't, basically, Odin can make himself unaffected from spell and traps until the end of the turn. Thor can stop all your opponent's face-up monsters' effects until the end of the turn. Loki can block trap card during your battle phase, which can stop evenly match, even skill drain, whatever your opponent tried to activate in your battle phase when you're trying to finish him off. If it's a trap card, Loki can stop it and you don't have to use your spelling. You can wait for some other effect you try to activate, like magic or monster. The bad thing about them, what makes this deck not so good, is their effects are not quick and they don't even last until the end of your opponent's next turn, which is pretty sad. Hope this thing gets fixed in the future, because it will give the deck little bit more extra power, which can make it a little bit more competitive than it is right now. When they come back from the grave, removing Odin, Ascendant Tuner, Thor, Nordic Beast Tuner, and Loki, Alpha Tuner, they can do representatively. Odin will draw you a card. Thor will deal 800 damage to your opponent. You might win in time, who knows. And Loki can recycle one trap card from your graveyard back to your hand. The good thing is this effect is kinda they're required to be destroyed, of course, by your opponent card. So they need to be face up, of course, when they get destroyed. So the good thing about this is kind of soft once per turn, because it says when this face up card is destroyed by opponent's card and enter the graveyard. So what's happening here is, let's say he destroys your Odin during phase 1, and at the end phase you want to return Odin, banishing 1, Odin come back to the field, activate his another effect to make you able to draw 1 card since he's summoned that way. And let's say your opponent plays Solemn Strike, destroying it again. No, Solemn Strike doesn't. Yeah, Solemn Strike. Yeah. Solemn Strike, destroying him again. Negating your effect to draw card. Odin was already summoned on the field. And then Odin goes back again in the graveyard. It's still the end phase. You have another Nordic Ascendant Tuner. You can banish the other one and resummon Odin again in the same end phase. Or Thor or Loki, whichever you have. The other synchro I play is 1 copy of Corral Dragon. Very easy to make with Rescue Cat, 2 level 3 beasts. Discarding 1 card, destroying 1 card your opponent control. It's a very good generic card. For the Xyz, number 41 Baguska, Abyss Dweller, and number 75 Bamboozling Shadow. You know what Baguska is doing, turning everything in defense position and negating the activated effects on the field of defense position monsters. For example, even if your opponent have Rescue Cat triples itself, but it's not skill drained, effect was activated on the field, so it's still gonna get negated. Abyss Dweller, remove one material. There's no effect from the grave until the end of the turn. And number 75, Bamboozling Shadow, which requires 2 level 3 or more monsters. Changing the effect to both players draw 1 card, so you can stop one of your important opponent's effects. From the fusion monsters to level 5, Deep Sea Shark and Sea Monsters of Thesos, which is Tuner, as you can see, which is giving you option with already fusion and instant fusion. Level 4, Carbonara Warrior. You can put whatever you like, whatever you feel to. I'm just showing you what levels I use and what monsters I use. Level 3 Fusionist and level 2 Tuner, Alvain. And of course, the other main monster in this deck, Govik of the Nordic Ascendant. This is your card you must protect. This is your combo. This is the soul of the deck, because without this card, basically you're losing half power. Nordic Ascendant Govik, you can do it with any Nordic monster, so it's almost always a combo. You start, you summon whatever Nordic monster you want, bringing out Govik, it's link 1. You have the arrow pointing here, so you want to summon your god after it under it, because the effect of Govik says the Aesir she's pointing to cannot be targeted with card effects from your opponent. Also, Govik cannot be targeted for attack while she's pointing at Aesir god. At summoning, she has the effect to banish 3 of your cards from your field or your hand, including herself, bringing out 3 monsters from your main deck with which you're doing your Aesir god. So pretty much that's it for the main and extra deck. I will show you my side deck, which again you can do different, you don't have to go the same. Second copy of the Nibiru, the Primal Being is here. 1 copy of the Universal Pancatrops, 1 copy of Dimension Shifter, 2 copies of Draw and Lockbird, again very good card. 1 copy of Change of Heart, Bait Negate, or even Twisting the Duel in your favor. 3 copies of Ultimate Slayer, a very good card. Again, why? Because you have all of the types in your extra deck. You have Link, you have Synchro, you have Xyz, you have Fusion, and your monster, your opponent is not able to answer with monster effects on the activation of this card, so you can remove whatever is bad for you, staying at your opponent's field in your second. 1 copy of Lightning Storm. You can put more, of course. I just played 2 in my other deck, so this is my 3rd copy and put it here. It's a good card. 1 copy of Harpy Feather Duster, of course. 1 copy of Cosmic Cyclone. Put more if you want. It's not a bad card. It's banishing, paying 1000 of course, but it's quick spell, so it won't trigger any effects in the grave. And 3 copies of Evenly Match. Very good card for going second. You know it. Okay, it's time to show you some combos. They're not much. Don't expect so much from the Nordics. Let's say have maybe the best possible hand, one of the best. So you summon whatever. Let's say you're summoning Mimir. You're linking this for your Govik of the Nordic Ascendant, triggering her effect. You're chaining with Hippo Carnival, giving it 3 tokens. Unchaining 2, unchaining 1, you're removing them with the effect of Govik. And what you can summon here, you can do the double protection from the grave for Odin, which will be Valkyrie of the Nordic Ascendant, Alvis of the Nordic Alfar, and Nordic Smith Ivaldi. Now on summon Nordic Smith Ivaldi, we'll search for a relic, which will be, of course, Nordic Relic Svalin. You see your negate. You didn't use any materials from your hand because of the effect of Hippo Carnival. And you're doing synchro with them, summoning Odin under the arrow of Govik. And now you have Odin, you have Svalin. Odin cannot be targeted. You have 2 protection from a grave. If he is destroyed, Odin, you can banish this at the end of your... It needs to be ascendant, to say. You can banish it at the end of your turn, returning Odin back. Of course, if he got removed by your opponent card effect, Alvis immediately activating, banishing himself, and you can bring out Thor or Loki. You can run more copies of the gods if you feel good playing them. And you have Svalin. You didn't use it for Raigeki or whatever he plays, because you have God immediately after. Another good combo you can do will be, if you have already Alvis, okay, let's do the Alvis, or you summon, let's say, Valkyrie, linking it to Govik, and you're banishing only Alvis. He triggers the effect. Again, you summon Nordic Smith. You're already searching for Svalin. To remove him from the field. You can remove whatever monster. It doesn't have to be tuner from your deck, sending it to the grave. It needs to be Nordic, of course, but equals 10. You can remove even the 2 goats. Tangrisnir and Targnostr equals 10. All 3 of them, you have a god. It's not synchro summoned. It doesn't count as synchro summoned, but you have a god. You have the Svalin. And you can go on. Other thing, to have some extra defense, you can go summoning Work. It gives you extra normal summon. It doesn't start a chain again, this effect. You can summon Alvis, and you can spatial summon Ivaldi from your hand. Now you can do with those, because Govik, she's locking you. You won't be able to summon anything from the extra deck except as your monster after you're using her effect. So basically here you can do Baguska in defense, or you can do Abyss Dweller, depending on what your opponent is playing. And then you know the rest. Linking for Govik, getting 3 monsters. You can remove from your hand materials. Or for this combo to be able to work with Baguska or Abyss Dweller, you need to have this in your hand, or second Alvis. Because basically here you use 3 cards, so you have 2 left. So the other option is to banish Govik itself, which is not very good because your god won't have any protection on the field except Svalin. So yeah, this is pretty good what you can do. You can max out this way and make it more consistent, meaning you be able to make this more time than I do. Another thing you can do, if you play, you can play, I ran it before but I stopped, you can play double summon, meaning you can get Dvark or whatever Nordic monster, playing double summon, and you can get Rescue Cat, or you can play first Rescue Cat, tribute it, getting out 2 level 3 monsters or the tuner, and you can get out Bamboozling Shadow, and then you can play double summon. You have protection already, it's interruption, summoning some Nordic, Govik, and you know the rest already. Or if you have only 5 cards, you didn't get Alvis, you didn't get Hippo Carnival, and you need to make Govik, but you're gonna use 3 cards from your hand. A little way to help yourself here is simply you can summon Rescue Cat, trigger herself, giving you Golden Bursty, and Tangersny. Of course the effects are negated, but you have 2 more materials, so Rescue Cat giving you 6 cards total, which you can do Golden Burst in your grave, making Thor, having already protection, doing Govik, banishing Tangrisnir, and 2 cards from your hand, not 3, so that way Rescue Cat can help you, give you more materials. So pretty much that's it for the Nordics. Again, not very powerful deck at first look, but if you play it right, if you play it smart, it will give you a lot of fun, a lot of wins, I'm sure, as it gives me. What I'm saying pretty much is that the simple the deck is, the harder it is to play, because you need to put more thought in it. It's not some combo, it doesn't have some you know, variants that you can run like 5, 6, you memorize them and you just play. You need to think, you need to know where to strike your opponent, because you don't have so much negate. You really need to put thought when you play with the Nordics, because you know you don't have so much materials and negates to waste. So I think this deck can really bring your level up as a duelist. And again, it's fun. It's very good for somebody who is just starting, or it's coming back in the game after a long time, because it pretty much covering all of the basics mechanics in the game. Like you have Link, you have Synchro, you can do Xyz with it, you have some negates, you have some effects from Grave. And it's not so complicated as you saw, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Again, this is my first video. I hope you like it. In the future I will do more decks, or even update on this deck if I find anything like super cool that you can do with it. But for now I'm pretty much liking it the way it is. Online the win rate is pretty good with it. I like it. You can try it as well, build it, try it, and let me know what you think in the comments. See you next time, guys.